This account makes even less sense than the NSC report, since the alleged nerve gas attack did not target rebels who were threatening government-held territory, but civilians in the town of rebel territory, including, as media reporters and Trump administration officials have repeatedly emphasized, large numbers of women and children. In other words, the American media is simply pouting lie upon lie without even taking the time to assess new lies consistent with the old ones. That's what I was looking for. I haven't read it yet. It says, from a military standpoint, the resort to chemical weapons in Khan Sekun is pointless. From a political standpoint, it is counterproductive, to say the least, for the Assad regime, for the U.S.-backed Islamist rebels. However, such an atrocity is a political goldmine, potentially providing a pretext for U.S. and eventually NATO intervention into a war that the rebels are losing badly. Micah 2:1. Let's see what that says. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. They devise iniquity. They're thinking iniquity. Okay, let me just read how they was piling lie upon lie. It's not iniquity, sin upon sin. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. They lay in their beds thinking about evil. When the morning is light, they practice it. Meaning when the day comes, they wake up in the morning, they practice the wickedness, the deceit, the iniquity they have devised the previous night. They practice that when they wake up in the morning. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Right, it's in the power of their hand to do it. They got the technology. They had the means to perpetuate all of these lies. And they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even the man in his heritage. That's so-called white man. Okay, that's what Esau do. But that's what Jake was doing back then too. Okay, but let's keep going. It says the NSC document makes no attempt to address, let alone rebut, such arguments. Its 4-page document includes only 1 page of supposedly factual findings by the U.S. intelligence agencies, consisting of vague and unsupported assertions, and then a page disputing the claims of Putin and Assad that no gas attack occurred. In the course of this, the NSC document cites video and eyewitness testimony about the impact of a chemical agent, as well as medical reports from Turkish doctors, but none of the evidence indicates the source of the nerve gas, if it was indeed a factor in the deaths at Khan Sekun. Criticizing Russian claims of fabrication, the NSC document declares, it is clear, however, that the Syrian opposition could not manufacture this quantity and variety of video and other reporting from both the attack site and medical facilities in Syria and Turkey while deceiving both media observers and intelligence agencies. You see that now? It says Russian claims of criticizing Russians' claim of fabrication. The NSC is saying all this here, man. Okay? See, the Syrian opposition couldn't manufacture this quantity and this video and blah, 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 blah. You know? That's what Esau's doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Making a bunch of stuff up. Now, right here it says, why should anyone believe that the media observers and intelligence agencies were among the deceived? See, they're trying to say that they're deceiving media observers and intelligence agencies. But it said, why should they believe that? Far more likely, the U.S. intelligence agencies and the media observers, particularly those employed by the New York Times, Washington Post, and other conduits for the U.S. government, were active participants in the deception. Yeah, y'all was active participants in the deception. You damn devils. The CIA has ample experience in the creation of provocations and fabrication of evidence, which is then supplied to its favorite press outlets to create the impression of objective reporting. Absolutely nothing that is reported on such a basis deserves the slightest credibility. Now, if you pay attention to what we just read, right, it just said the CIA has ample experience in the creation of provocations and fabrication. Okay, and that's a fact. The CIA is tied into the media, and they fabricate all these damn lies that's going out there in the world. Okay, they fabricate these things through the media, which is controlled by the United States government, and it says, which is then supplied to its favorite press outlets to create the impression of objective reporting. And objective is something that's so-called objective reporting. Objective reporting is something that's not influenced by personal feelings. Okay, it's not influenced by personal feelings or opinions when it comes to representing facts. But what does it tell you right there? Right here in Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. Let this page pop up. See, this thing went act stupid now. That shows you that Satan's in the midst. Esau don't want this information coming out. Satan wanted this information coming out, and Esau is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for the scripture where it tells you when a ruler hearken unto lies, even his servants are wicked. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Bear me 1 second. I could have sworn it was Proverbs 29. Maybe I say I could, not necessarily I could have sworn, but you know what I mean. Proverbs 29:12. But 2. I got the 2 and 12 mixed up. Proverbs 29 and 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. So the CIA is hearkening to the lies, and all of the media outlets working for them, they the wicked. All right. Absolutely nothing that is reported on such a basis deserves the slightest credibility. It is noteworthy that the Russian government has repeatedly called for an objective, authoritative international investigation into what happened at Khan. Notice how Russia is saying, let's get an international investigation. He's saying with that, you know, and if he is, he's going to mess that up too. He's going to distort that too. This is in sharp contrast to the conduct of the Trump administration. It's a contrast. It's a difference, which has acted as judge, jury, and executioner rolled in one, claiming to have determined the facts, identify the perpetrators, and carry out the punishment in a 3-day period. This is the method not of justice or the enforcement of international law, but the law of the jungle in which the most powerful imperialist military power simply does what it wants. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. There is every reason to believe that the gas attack on Khan was staged by the CIA and its rebel students to force a reversal of policy by the Trump administration and pave the way for U.S. military intervention. Because Trump's saying, "Oh no, we're gonna come to peaceful terms, you know, with Russia, you know." That's what Trump was talking about. But now all of a sudden, they're trying to get it in with Syria now. Now all of a sudden they're trying to get it in with Syria. Okay, they're trying to force a change. But guess what? It's all set. It's all a game. You know, it's all set up. All right. So where we at now? It says yeah. It follows the pattern. It says it follows the pattern. Um, it follows the pattern of the last previous alleged chemical weapons attack in August 2013, when the rebels were seeking to gain direct American support, and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry told them that something needed to happen. See that? Soon after, more than 1,000 people were killed by nerve gas in Ghouta, a rebel-held suburb of Damascus. All right. Matter of fact, I think it was something else here in Proverbs 29 and 2. It was another good scripture that was up in here. Yeah, Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So when we get in the kingdom, people gonna rejoice, right? We're gonna be rejoicing. But when the wicked bear rule, Esau, so-called white man, the people mourn. You don't think the people mourning out there? The people dying from chemical gas attacks left and right, man? Okay? The political beneficiaries of this attack were the Syrian rebels. Seymour Hersh, one of a handful of real journalists still practicing his profession and not in jail or exile, conducted a meticulous exposure of the Ghouta attack, demonstrating that it had likely been carried out by the al-Nusra Front, the al-Qaeda affiliate in Syria with chemical weapons supplied by Turkey. The al-Nusra Front, under a new name, is the dominant force on the ground today in Khan Sheikhoun. The gas attack did not have the expected effect after the British Parliament voted against joining an attack on Syria, and in view of sharp divisions within the Pentagon over whether to intervene. President Obama pulled back to the enormous frustration of the CIA and at the leading Democrats like his former Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. See? The British Parliament was against joining the attack on Syria. All right? It says, and then a few sharp divisions within the Pentagon and in view of sharp divisions within the Pentagon over whether to intervene. President Obama pulled back. See that? To the frustration of the CIA. If Clinton had won the 2016 presidential election, there is no doubt that there would have been an immediate dramatic escalation in the American involvement in the Civil War. Following Trump's surprise victory, which it was a surprise to the public, but we knew he was going to become president, a ferocious conflict has ensued, centering on bogus allegations of Russian manipulation of the election to assist Trump, or rather they knew who was going to become president, aimed at shifting the Trump administration's policy towards Russia and Syria. When I say they, I mean the international bankers, the ones that's ruling behind the curtains. It's all set up. This has now culminated in the apparent victory of the U.S. intelligence agencies and the Democrats in the intercene. Look at that word, intercene. All right. I looked that word up not too long ago, but it escapes my mind right now. Bear me 1 second. Intercene. My computer about to die. Intercene. One moment. I'm not gonna pull it up on screen. Okay, due to the interest of time. I'm not gonna pull it up on screen. Bear me 1 second. I'm gonna act stupid. Internecine or internecine, destructive to both sides in the conflict. See that? This has now culminated in the apparent victory of the U.S. intelligence agencies and the Democrats in this destructive in both sides of a conflict struggle, or the struggle that destroys both sides, or this internecine struggle within the U.S. ruling elite, and Trump's embarking on a course that threatens to produce full-scale U.S. military intervention in the Syrian civil war, and poses the danger of direct confrontation with the nuclear armed Russia. See that? There you go. World War III is at hand. And notice it said um internecine struggle. The struggle means a conflict within a group or organization. Is it not written that the scripture says a house divided against itself cannot stand? I can't bring it up because my computer about to die. I'm bringing these last two scriptures. Sirach 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusheth, so is wickedness. So you're not supposed to trust your enemy, man. You ain't supposed to trust Esau. You don't trust these devils. Psalms 58:2. Yea, in heart you work wickedness, you weigh the bonds of your hands in the earth. So Esau weighs the bonds of his hands in the earth, man. Okay? And you see what he's doing out there in Kansai Kun. Let me get this, which some rebels is all controlled by the United States government, they all controlled by the CIA. You know? Let me get the scripture. I should be able to get it. Luke 13:25. Okay? Let me see something real quick. Real quick. Bear me 1 second. Alright, hold on. Let this thing pop up. This is yeah. Luke chapter Luke 11, Matthew 12:25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city house divided against itself shall not stand. And that's what's happening in America. That's what's happening amongst the ruling class elite, and that's also going to ultimately be what America's allies destroying them. Remember the dragon, the beast shall hate the whore. The whore is America, and that beast is NATO in the EU. And it said the British Parliament was against it, right? And it said the British Parliament voted against the joint attack on Syria, so we know we in that time. So with that, I'm going to close. I'm going to say, oh, praise the Yahweh Shah. Oh, brothers, learn something. Shalom.